Welcome to what is the first practical part in this Cold Conquest series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 10th of May 1908, and the reason we're picking up on the 10th of May is this is the map start date when you play on the Siberian biome. Now, before we get into actually doing something practical, what I want to do is just give a very quick kind of overview of the objectives of what we're going to be doing for the first 9 years. For anyone who's not sure why I'm talking about the first 9 years, is the fact that if you watch the overview videos, there is a rule in the sense that for the first 9 years we've got a specific target, which is to set up and populate 5 towns. So what we're going to be doing is looking at the first 9 years as a startup period, and during that period we can't enter what you could say is hostile territory over here beyond go for one specific reason. That is to come here and buy some vehicles. So for the first 9 years we're going to be focused very much on populating our towns here and getting them up and running and creating a stable economy. If things go well, the secondary objective is to get this railway line repaired and connected up and running with coal trains, which could be quite interesting. So that is going to be very much the focus of the first 9 years. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront. I'm not totally sure that I'm going to be able to do it because I haven't really played on the Siberian biome. I mean, I know the basics mainly by watching a couple of review videos, and I did play a very short test game just to kind of see how when the what you'd call the summer starts, which is beginning of May, and when the winter comes in, which is, I think it's about halfway through October. I can't remember the exact date. So just to review the rules, we have to be staying within the Soviet area for the first 9 years. Once the 9 years is up, anything goes. The second kind of rule that I'm going to stick to is that we are going to have to try and stick within the historical context of these settlements. Now, so we won't be putting down ugly Soviet-style buildings. That comes after the revolution in 1917. So we will be trying to maintain the characters of these 5 towns that we've got to instigate. The only exception to that, and this is an area where I'm kind of a little bit nervous, that is the fact that we are playing in realistic mode with everything switched on. And of course, the only exception is we got 4.7 million rubles. A bit more about that in a little while. And the only exception is if I get to a point with some of the things like waste management and vehicle maintenance and all the main infrastructures that we got to put in, and I've got no alternative than use the actual base games. And the one that springs to mind straight away is storage. So we may have to put some slightly modern looking storage, especially with respect to waste. I'll be completely upfront. It's a long time since I've done an early start, and I've got no idea what the status of the mod situation with respect to some of these more recent mechanics. So what that means is that this is going to be part exploration. That also applies to vehicles. On the moment I'm working on the assumption that the only vehicles we got is horses and carts and steam vehicles, courtesy of Novo's mod. I know there are other vehicles which we will be looking at, but at the end of the day, that's I'm starting with the worst case scenario and then possibly building up for that. So let's just review the objectives, and I'll talk about other restrictions as we go along. What we've got down in the bottom right hand corner, because we are restricted to our, you could say, revolutionary leaning regions, we've got 3 starter towns, and we got one over here which is close to the border, and I think I can do something with this, but it might not be our primary start targets. What I'm going to be doing is choosing one start target in this area, which of course is going to be effectively what is going to be our capital here. The little village over here, I think we're just going to ignore. And of course, one of the caveats of this series is that we have to try and protect all these starting locations from falling down. And if they fall down, we've effectively got to rebuild the village or town and repair the buildings. And then probably a little bit more complicated is up here, where we've got 2 starter towns up here. Now, again, to begin with, we're going to focus on this one, because the problem with this one is it's a little bit remote, and it's going to take quite a long time to get kind of resources up here and to be built. That's a scar there when I was looking at the thing. So in this area, we may have to put in fact, I'm going to do it straight away while I'm thinking about it, actually. Sorry about this. This is where we're going to have to kind of try and break, we're going to have to break the rules a little bit. We're going to plan in a kind of, how far out can I get this? This is what was the reason why there's scars here. I was kind of looking at the options when I was preparing for this video. And of course we can't build anything because we got realistic mode. I just want to put that in there as a reminder. So the strategy is going to be to focus on getting this town up and running so that it can function, and then we can possibly use a ship to go from here to supply resources up to there, and then down in this area. And this is going to be part of the challenge of this map, and if anyone wants to play along, follow the same principle, is that rather than starting in one location and growing out very slowly, what we're going to do is start in multiple locations, populate the actual towns themselves, and then try and merge them together into kind of large urban areas. Now, the other thing is I don't know anywhere any of the resources are, even though I created the map, because my wife placed the resources. Now, they could be anywhere, but what I'm going to do in this initial video is trying to avoid trying to do any surveying for the moment, because we're going to need to focus very much on getting the basics up and done. And I'll be completely upfront, there's one area where I'm really nervous, and that is heating, because we're playing on the Siberian map, there's going to be very, very cold winters. And those cold winters are going to have, well, lots of effects. One is they're going to slow up our already very slow horses and carts. And also, I'm not sure how the heating's going. We're going to keep everybody warm, and when it goes down to -40, -50. Another restriction I'm going to start with until 1917 is that we will not be placing any asphalt roads. First, we can upgrade the roads to is gravel. I mean, it's not much of a restriction because the vehicles available don't go up much above, what's it? I can't remember now. 60 mile an hour or 60 kilometers an hour anyway. The only exception is to build asphalt footpaths. The reason for that is that we're going to have to try and get some walking ranges in to be able to get this economy to work. When you do an early start, walking distance is absolutely crucial for your core services. And the moment you've got to say, I've got to put a bus line in here, you are in trouble. What I'll do is I'll just talk about other issues and possible restrictions as we go forward. As I say, we are going to try and stay historical. That means we're going to be using lots and lots of mods. Now, I have set myself a sub goal out of curiosity, because one thing I've got into a habit, and I think many players have got, is that you just dump the sewage into the rivers. Now, you can see this town is very close to the river. One of the problems I've found with my unification series is the fact that pollution from just dumping raw sewage is very strong. So if we just dump into here, well, it won't be, well, I mean, it won't be much of a problem in the beginning, but as this town grows, which it will do, that will create a pollution ring out here. And pollution in this game is a bit odd, because it doesn't kind of spread in a linear format. What you can get is little blobs moving out, which then can cause problems. So what I've done is I've been looking at what options are available, because of course we're playing with water enabled. And the other thing is I've been looking at the mods for sewage treatment, and I think this is going to be an ideal opportunity to be able to do a little bit of experimentation with what we can and can't do with these mods, because I've never really looked at it. So this is integrated sewage sludge integration. So what I'm going to be doing is designing a full sewage system, because again, I did consider using trucks, but to be honest, with the capacities that we've got available and speeds, I just don't feel it's a go. So, for example, if I come in here and I show you the sewage trucks, sewage system here, the best we've got is a this NW first truck sewage, and the steamer. The steamer's slightly better. It can carry 6 tons of waste at 22 kilometers an hour. But I did do some test play, and the problem is that, I mean, normally in the 1960 start on realistic mode, you can take the sewage to the border, but you can see the border here is a long way away. And I did look into the options of trying to just dump it into the river or something like that, and it's just not viable. So the first thing we're going to do is actually put in a sewage system in all our major towns. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is that for the first month of the game in realistic mode, you get 3 leveling of buildings. You can't do it with the actual tools. If I come in here and say level, it would just say you need a free bulldozer. But what you can do is actually level the buildings themselves. And what I'm going to do is use one of these, I think. Now, there's actually 4 versions? There's actually 3 versions of this. 2 of them output fresh water, and then the third one actually does. Oh, great! Actually, no. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I need to think, because the other thing we're going to be doing is using power plants. I think I'm going to do the power plants first, because of course there's no power on this map. And what we're going to do is, well, 2 things. We're going to use the hydropower where possible, and the other one is we're actually going to use these small fuel generators. The reason I don't want to go straight to a coal plant is the fact that I don't know where the coal is, and again, it comes down to shipping. Where fuel is a bit more efficient, but ideally the most efficient is hydroelectric. So we are going to start with hydroelectric. And I think it is in context, because this is a Czech hydroelectricity late 19th century. And as it says in there, I think it says Písek, which actually I think is a real place. So we're not kind of out of context. Well, okay, you can do it. I was hoping to get a little bit closer, because what I want to do is get this in range of there. So we've got a hydroelectric plant there. We can't really use a hydroelectric plant there. What I'm hoping to do is make this into a center of generation and then send the power to there. Because, in fact, I'll see if I can plan 2 of them. It'd be great if I could get a second one. Yeah. So we're going to put 2 of these side by side like that. I mean, this is for long-term production. So the idea is that this will generate the power for that town and that village. Up here, it's going to be possibly a little bit more complicated. Although we could, I mean, it's not that far away. So maybe we could get 2 power stations in here as well. So if we can get as close to that. Don't know how far over the border we can go, so this can't. I'm going to do exactly the same here. Now comes the fun bit, and I am actually going to use an asphalt footpath here. I think if we can come up there like that. What I'm hoping to do is get and of course I can't demolish. I'm trying to think if I see if I put an asphalt, I can put you there. I put a mud footpath to there. Will that be in range? Yes. So that gets us in range of that down there. Now, there isn't a big workforce in here. It only needs 6 people. So I think if we can get that one going in there, then later on we can put a few more houses here so we expand. And then that will bring this one in range as well. So what we're going to do now is go back over to here. And we're going to do exactly the same here. Although what I do want is we've got a road out there, but I'd like to put a road here because we may need to want to go this way. So I'm going to put the road in first. I think we can probably go, oops. Oh, we actually get 3 road leveling as well, do we? I'll take it. So we can do a bit of road planning as well. To be honest, I've forgotten completely all about the free leveling. It's only when I was watching Bill Joe's new series out of curiosity that I actually realised that we could actually do that in a game. We're just going to run all the way up to there. I think this one's going to be a little bit more sketchy. We may need to put some extra residences in here. I don't think I can push this any further. Actually, let me just change that because we've got a little bit of a dog leg here, which I don't like. I think if we can... If we run dead straight up like this. Don't like that. Let me just, actually, I think if I, maybe if I don't know, maybe that will, maybe just do that. Can you give me the distances? That gets me a little bit closer. I think that's about the best we're going to be able to do. So if I put that in, looks like we're going to have to build an extra house or something here. I think part of the problem is this guy's the wrong way around and we can't demolish him. I think we... let me just put a small house in. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting because we're going to have to... I don't want a lot. We're talking about a property of a small kind of... so many different buildings here. This is what I'm talking about. It's village street. That fit? What is this? I don't know. We need something a little bit better than that. What was this? A workers' commune here. 12 workers. Don't know. Miners block. Probably. Oh, that's a bit more good there, isn't it? If I just get it on the extreme range, get in very, very close. Actually, I wonder if I can... Normally I play test my maps so that, I mean, we could remove that field. The trouble is, I think we've already got a footpath connection there, haven't we? With some, I think what we're going to do is just put this little miners block. What do we need to build this? It's a little bit icky, but I suppose it will fit with the theme. So we're just going to tuck you in there like that. So we're actually going to have to build a dwelling. Although strictly speaking, we could still possibly do something with this. In fact, I think what we will do, we'll keep that miners block as a kind of a thingy. I think what we'll do is we'll upgrade that footpath there first. And then we're going to go. I'm not going to worry about the road because hopefully there's no vehicles here. So we've now kind of sorted out our base power load. I mean, obviously we're going to have to put a larger power station in later on. Now we're going to come to sewage treatment. And I want to just have a quick look at the terrain. Right, we're going to need to put a sewage outfall on it with that. I hate operating in the dark. And this, oh wow, okay, I'll take that. Because of course, when you're building on water, if you can't get an edge, it won't level it. So I think here, for test purposes, we are going to build this one. Not that one, certainly not that one, this one. What this wood does is it can process up to 300 cubic meters of water. 30 cubic meters of water, sorry, not 300. But it outputs 300 cubic meters of water. Now, I'm not exactly too sure how this actually works. So this comes down to what I was talking about, is the reason why I want to do this experiment. Okay, if we start there, I want to push this back a little bit. Now, this doesn't need any chemicals and it doesn't need any workers. I'm just going to tuck you in there. So we'll want, and of course, I'm also not sure whether it actually produces any pollution. This is the reason why I want to kind of shove it right down here. I'm thinking I've got it the right way around here. I'm going to start from this side. I'm going to put 2 connecting pipes in. We're going to keep an extra one on the background there, because each one of these pipes carries 169 cubic meters of water. So I'm assuming that if this is going to put out 300, we're going to need 2 of these pipes to drain this thing. This is all purely theoretical, by the way, guys. And now the next thing I want to do is a contingency. Actually, yeah. If we come to, I think is it sewage facilities, yeah. I'm going to put a switch up here. I'm just going to put a switch about there. Like that. Actually, we're just going to change this a bit. Shift. Change this. Connect you to there. And then run a pipe from there to there. And I'm going to run a pipe down to here. That requires proper slope. Okay, you are. Now, the first connection, we're not going to build all these pipes because these are going to be very expensive. I just want to plan something for the very, very long term. But what we're going to do is put in 1 pipe into here, 1 pipe into here. Things don't work. This is the advantage of starting in multiple villages. If it doesn't work the way I think it's going to work, is we can then put a direct connection and dump into the river while we kind of rip this apart and rebuild it. The next thing I want to do is, I think I've got some nice little substations. Let me just come above. I think there's some substations in here. I was looking at them. Sewage substations. One that did get me is this is what I was looking at when I was how can you say, when I was doing the initial groundwork. This is an outhouse, and what you have to do is it holds 20 cubic meters of water, but you have to send a truck to collect it. And I kind of want, I may use it if I can get somewhere to dump off just to fill in gaps, but the one that kind of intrigues me is this sewage well. Now, what I want to do is put one in that covers the whole village. Kind of thinking, you never see with this thing, you can never really see the orientation. We need to cover our new town, and we also need to connect to there. I think if we put the first sewage container there like that, make sure it connects up, because everything has to be connected. Actually, I'm kind of thinking maybe we're the footpath there, and then that can come in there. That makes it a little bit neater. Although I might put a building in there. And then what we're going to do is come here. Apologies that this isn't exactly the most sparkling of that. We're trying to get that. Actually, if I could do it, I'd like to come in a bit straighter, so that it's just going to make it a bit easier to make these connections. If we put a curve just before the connection, it will just make sure it's all done. And that's our first kind of sewage system. Now, what I'm going to do now is go up and do this one, just to show you what we're actually going to be doing. Now, what I want to do here is put in this treatment plant, but underground building is above the terrain. We could put it there. Maybe we can bring it forward a little bit. Make it a little bit more space. Because this has got a road connection, so we're going to have to get a road out of here. Go mud road. I think we can come out. There's a road right. Okay. That is a road, isn't it? Yep. I think this field's gonna have to go. The field is part of my farming experiment, which is already falling apart. I think maybe we're going to connect there, so maybe I didn't need to take the field down. And of course, I've ruined the fertility now. And it means we're going to have to take a footpath off of here. I think shift. I think I would like to take a road off of here. Because of course we've got to think carefully now about what we actually want. Actually, if I put the road right behind the houses like that. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to destroy your back gardens. And then got to come up to there. Because of course this one here, the small treatment plant in here, actually needs 10 workers, so it needs 30 people, and of course more importantly it needs chemicals. It's going to be, well, we can bring the chemicals in from here, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but that's the name of the game. So if we accept that, and what we're going to do is put the sewage outfall, the discharge here, flip that the opposite way. I think this might have a problem. Underground. Great, got it the wrong way round. First mistake of the process. Okay, it might give us a chance to reorientate this. It's got the road's the wrong way round. Let me just flip it that way. I might try and push it a little bit further this way and a little bit further north. Does it actually produce any pollution? This is what, well, it says it doesn't produce any pollution, so I think if we can drop you there. Could run the road directly to there, but I think that road's going to be quite sufficient. Put the road back in again. Oops, it's a bridge, not a road. I think what I am going to do is, because I've put this road in now, to give us space here, we'll just put this road in direct up there. That actually gives me walking distance. So I think what we will do is we will actually upgrade that to a gravel road. In fact, we'll make this into gravel road as well. And I think we'll have a case here for, yeah, I think that is going to make things a little bit better. And then we can bring a footpath up from here to connect to that eventually. I mean, there's going to be a lot of building as we go forward. Big sewer pipe. Okay, we'll just come off like that and connect you up. Just do a single connection here. We're not going to do anything really wacky like thing. What I will do though is put in the big switch above, just in case. Okay, flip that the opposite way. Like that. And hopefully this will come down to there. And then what we're going to have to do now is put in the kind of overall sewage outfall things. It's going to be a little bit kind of out the way, but expansion wise, because we got the cathedral here and also we got the distance to there, so what expansion wise we're going to go this way on the assumption that we're going to find something useful out here, and also this way because I'd like to kind of put a more direct route to here. And we might get a bit of a lumber industry going in this area, because we are going to be collecting lumber for our heating, but more about that sometime in the future. Anyway, next things is we want the sewage tank. We're not going to get, we're not going to really get the coverage, so there's no point pretending, is there? I think what we're going to do is we're going to put, now we've got some nice high ground here for collection purposes, so, and we might expand out this way. I've already said we're going to expand out this way a little bit. We probably won't build much more that way, so I think if I put in, can I get that? No, it's not. Okay, we're gonna have to kind of put in, this is going to be a very long sewage run though, that's the only trouble. I think we put in that there, sneak a little mud road there, so that will give us a sewage tank. That's there. I think we'll go back to my other sewage substation. So we got that, covers that area there. If I put another one, actually I can just run it off of this here, can't I? Like that. Just give it, because that will cover all those. So I put another one just about there, like that. We come there. You can run down to the center of that one. Hopefully this one will, oh, great. I know I should be building for pure economy, but these are going to last, these systems are going to last for a very long time, so I want it, I'd rather, and this is the reason why I went for the 4.7 million rubles. because I want to build a proper infrastructure here from the get-go. And as I say, if we use chemicals here, we've got a little warehouse here. I think what I will do is, can I get an open store in here, actually, come to think of it? Ooh, that's horrible. Sneak in an open store there, which we're going to need to build as well. Actually, I know I can use a free one, but I'm kind of, the way I'm thinking at the moment is that we're going to be importing into this one, where if we go down, back down to the bottom to do the next thing that we need to do, up here we can use the free ones, because the problem is that because we're going to be building multiple locations, there's only so many free buildings that we can use. So certain things are going to need you can say an option where we can actually store things, if that makes sense. Actually, I might rethink that. No, because we got our custom shed there, but when we import things, we got to store things there. That's it. Yeah. I'm starting to doubt myself. Right, so back here we've now got our sewage in, we've got our power in. The other thing I would like to do with respect to power is nothing. Over here we've got the other big, we've got a sewage treatment plant. I just want to try something out, because the other thing I want to do is try this thing out. Now this one does produce waste. So this has got plenty of flat terrain here. There's even a flash of green there. So that's not a problem. I'm not going to build that then. So we can leave that, because we can plan that and build it and later on, because obviously we need to get at least one town operational in each area. So we've now got this here. So the next thing we need to do is start putting our facilities in. Now this area is specifically here for those facilities. And now we're going to start getting into a shop. We need a shop. Now what we need is, trying to think, and we got kind of two options. We got one where we put these in, but the trouble is these have got no ancillary storage. We got corner market now, or the alternative is we can actually go this way. A nice little shopping mall thing here. How much this is going to take? It just needs steel, lots of boards, and then more importantly, it's actually got a warehouse. And I think the warehouse is going to be quite important, simply because we're going to need to stock up for the winter, because once the winter comes, this road is going to get very slow. So we need to carry enough supplies for the winter. Now let me just come out here. Actually, that's on my, what I should be able to do. Shopping mall. Where are you? Should be on this list. Way too big. And what I want to do is try and get this into, we got covered. Strangely, we have more focus on covering that corner than actually covering our main town. Though there's an advantage because these are big buildings, so we can get the connection in. I think we're, see if we can get you really tight in this corner like that. And I think that actually would fit with the overall town. And then what we're going to need to do is we've got a road connection coming out the back there. And of course, we're going to have to bring the road down to here. We have to go with that. And what we're going to need to do is put a store in. Let me just see if I can find what we got in the way of storage. Actually, we'll go to mods. Storage. We got a rural brick house here, which it can store 63 tons electronics. Don't really want to build that, but I think it's got to be the way that we're going to survive the winter. The only trouble is we're using up this fairly important. I think if I can curve this in like that, and a little bit, if I can get that road out the way, we might be able to slip in a building or something there. So if I mess this up, no, I haven't. Right. So we've got what I'm want to do is, if possible, is create some kind of row along here of key services. So we got this here. We need a hospital. We got a historic hospital with a road that's completely in the wrong direction. Great. That would have been brilliant, but the road's wrong. And we don't have a road that way. I mean, I could put it like that. Will that look out of place? I want to leave a gap there. We got trouble is we don't have that. Well, I mean, it should connect. Well, if I put it there, it will connect to there, to there, to there. 191. Maybe there's another option. We got this monster. So it's going to be quite. Road's going in the wrong direction again, but I think this one I can flip that way. But it's going to be very big. I mean, that's only got 2 slots. The historic hospital's got 3 slots. So this thing, yeah, horrible. I think what we'll do is we'll come back here. Let's just put some. What we need is, I think I'd like to get the school and the kindergarten in the center here. So I'm kind of liking the historic hospital, even if the orientation is wrong. I want the school, but I want the school. I don't want a tutor school. We've got an old school here. I think that would kind of fit really nice with the. If we put you about, so we can kind of overlap it a little bit, because it's got. I think this school is no collision, and we're just going to come out, click on the school. Right, we got a little bit of an issue with our houses because we're moving away. So what we're going to need to do is come here. We're going to have to kind of hook you up there. We're probably going to have to make this into. We'll start with gravel. Kind of come there. Right, how well's that going? Okay, we've now got everybody connected with gravel. Kindergarten is going to be quite a big thing, but it'd be nice if I could get what we got in the way of kindergartens. I must admit, I'm very rusty on these. 5. Don't want tutor. We got the old nursery block. That would fit the theme. We can, if it contacts that corner, we're going to be good. So let me just zoom in. really close that we can get an alignment here. Again, we can have a, I think we can just kind of sneak you in there. So that creates that kind of corner there. So that is going to be the kindergarten, and now what we're going to do is try and get the hospital, what we call it in, historic hospital. Get the historic hospital on the corner like that. Can't build. I think if I put it on the angle, so this has got collision enabled. We put the hospital back a little bit so it's kind of got its own grounds. Sneak it over like that, and then the problem's going to be is getting down into this area. But let me just see if I can. If I put a if we build a road out like that, bring this road down to here. We're gonna. That can come to there. If I put a and get a footpath through here like that, because the trouble is the hospital's only got that one connection, but we're nearly there with the respect of that thingy there. Trouble is these buildings need this bit here. I could, let me just try. We'll put this in and then as a test. That's not really improved the route at all, so okay. I think I can work on this because there is a little bit of a ploy that we can put in. And I know some of you guys are going to cringe at this almightily, but if I remove you, whoops, come here, where's the footpaths? Where is it? We put in pergola there. I know it's a bit cringe-worthy and probably putting a pergola in here, but I'll try anything to get everything connected if necessary. No. We're very close. It's just we just can't quite get to that corner. I think what we may have to do in the short term, once the sounds like the only trouble is it's so. If we can get people to here, yeah, I think what are these? These are gravel roads. I think we can probably do this with asphalt. How much do we need to build? I think the pergolas. We'll leave the pergola in just for aesthetic reasons. And then I think what we will do is put you there, you there, you there. Take you up to an asphalt road. Oh, we didn't build these in as well, did we? So take you through there. Okay, we're nearly there. So if I make that asphalt, that asphalt, that asphalt, that asphalt, that asphalt, like that. So we've now got our shop, our school, our nurse, kindergarten, and our hospital. How many vehicle slots do we have in this historic hospital? 3. That should be enough. So the next thing we need to do is put in sport and culture. We'll do sport first. No, culture first. Cinema. we got an old opera house. We could come down this way. How much does this take to build? We could, if I put that there, we can reach all the buildings from here. So we're going to create a kind of cultural center type thing here. We're just going to push it back a little bit like that, offset off the hospital. And what we can do then is connect this up with a mud footpath, where we can go back to this road. We could always take a footpath across there. So we've now got culture. Now we need sport. Oof, this is tiring. We've got a Tudor Athletics League. This is where it gets a bit sketchy. Now we're going to have indoor sport only because the winter's so long. This is the good old athletics club. This has been around. I'm just going to put you up the top actually. This has been quite a successful little mod that I've used for a very long time. Because you can kind of slot it in like this almost anywhere, and it works. So yeah, I think we could put you in here. You're going to go cover for 48. I mean, the alternative is this one's also 48. What's this one? This one's a bit cheaper to build. And it's actually got 2 connections in. Actually, if we put you there, we could put you in there. 200, I think. And this will work with the, I think we'll put the athletics club there. And then it's cheap to build, so I think probably that is something we can live with. So we've now got all our core services in. I know I haven't put water in. I know I haven't put the power cables in. I just wanted to get this area put together. So we've got in theory, we've got everything in here which will service this town. And we've got the ability to put in a store here for winter. Apologies for the interruption. Norton has decided it wants to do a full scan, which is really annoying. Now I'm aware that I'm running out of time, so what I'm going to do is come up to here and talk about where we're going to put the shop and everything in here. And then what I'll do is I'll do it off camera, because I think we've illustrated what the thought process is. We don't really have the space in here. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put the store in first, and then we'll build the rest of I'll do the rest of it off camera. We've got our sewage pipe thing there. What can we do in the way of a store here? Shop. That would be nice. How much coverage are we going to get here? Let me just, I've got to get into the habit of picking up the store from here, because then you don't get that horrible thing coming from the outside. I think if I can put the store about there, we will get full coverage. That's a bit of luck. I mean, I always planned to put the store here, but I was always a bit sketchy about whether we'd have the sufficient coverage. So I think maybe we'll just put the store there. Probably don't need those, so we'll kind of take that out. We'll put tidy this up. Okay, put you there. Just make sure the coverage is still good. Yep. And then more importantly, the distances are still good as well. There's 1, 2, shops here. I think this one isn't even connected, I don't think. Oh, haha. Okay, we can kind of fix you like that. Bit of a mistake there. As I said in the intro, because of the time constraints, I never really play tested this map as much as I would. Normally, I would spend a lot of hours play testing my maps before I published them. So we got 2 buildings down here, which we can thing, but we can do the connection there. Anyway, guys, and I think what we'll do is we'll kind of keep this area. Let me just finish off the actual storage. Because again, the rules we need to have. Actually, we could kind of push this down a little bit, because we can. Don't want it down too far, but because we got to bring the road in, because this is actually a footpath, so we could get rid of this footpath. And then you can come in there, leave that, we'll build this. So we got this area here. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Any suggestions, comments, feel free to put it in the video description, especially if you've done an early start with respect to vehicle maintenance and waste collection, because that's an area where I'm very sketchy on. If you've got any mods that you've been using to do that in an early start, feel free to recommend them in the comments, because any help in that area would be very much appreciated. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.